5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Specs. It's Specs. Specs is Specs. Specs is Specs. Specs.
Thank you.
So, I don't understand where it's really long.
This is longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, this is our new edition. This is our first podcast
Filmed
in a
in
while.
front of a live studio audience.
Yes. This is our first podcast in a while, so we didn't have any of the old jingles and stuff because I recently had my laptop
No, we do
nicked.
have the jingles. I'll put them in later.
Yeah, well, I recently had my laptop nicked, so all the stuff that was originally in the old podcast.
All right, starting a low note.
I know. We'll start low. So Joe thought we'll get a soundboard and
No, that wasn't really a plan. It just happened this morning.
you just did it anyway.
I saw it on the app store. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
having this.
So
Because
yeah.
wait, let me hang on.
The other thing is we haven't planned anything to say really, so we're just going to podcast for a while and see,
So
how,
we know the topics we're going to do.
see how long it goes and whatnot. We're in
For
the same room,
example,
which is nice.
Here's
Yep, keyboard cat. Classic.
I can do all of them at once. Oh, hang on.
This is the world premiere of our new jingle
Why is it still going?
for the Vevers Brocast. Technical hitch.
Okay, right. Let's start this. So what do you want to talk about?
Life. L'chaim. I don't know. We haven't really planned anything. Just thought it was night. We were a bit bored, and we just thought let's just do a podcast.
This is still. Should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Why not? Again, because it's been a while since we did a
Yeah.
podcast. I actually we always joke about, oh, yeah, but no one's actually listening. We actually got a fair few. I got a bit of interest off Reddit for that one. It's had
no, we didn't.
for our first for our first podcast. You have to start somewhere, you know.
I don't feel like I'm making much volume on my microphone here.
Maybe close to your face.
Hello.
That's a bit weird because
Can you hear me?
I'm sitting on a computer across
I'll
the
just
room
move
from
closer.
Joe, and I'm not actually
It's
looking
probably
at
way
him when
too
I'm
loud
looking
now.
at the screen, so it's a bit weird. But it's all right, you know.
Anyway, yeah. So we're pretty much 2/3 of the Vevers Brocast, right?
Yeah, 2/3.
Not really including Molly,
Yeah,
who's our sister.
I'm Tom,
He is.
and-
He's right.
and you're Joe.
I'm Joe.
Kind of because again,
But you know that if you watched last episode,
yeah, because our voices are so similar. There's no point in me saying that.
we can't say this every episode.
I know. I know
Okay.
that's true.
So what's been going on, man?
Not a lot, just life in it. Summer holidays, doot and doo doo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had some nice weather recently. It was nice, but this happened. This has happened the last couple of summers. It's really nice for a couple of weeks, and then out of nowhere, it'll be like thunder and lightning. Wait, do I have a lightning sound effect on my soundboard?
No, it's just
Um,
Scotland for you.
This is
Isn't
the best I got.
it?
That's kind of what the weather was like. Sometimes it's sunny.
We should do weather. We should do weather.
But you know, oh, we don't have a weather segment on our.
No.
Oh, you got news and weather.
Yeah, news and weather combines news and weather, but again, as we said, we're not really covering news and weather with Joe and Tom.
Can this be the intro to the podcast?
Yeah, this could be the intro to news and weather.
Okay.
We're not really talking about anything particular because obviously
Well, what are the topics we normally do?
we usually like film, games,
Um,
television,
well,
general
let's-
news.
What should we do first?
Well, I'm currently having a rummage to the BBC News site.
Okay,
so-
let's do. We normally do news sort of last, but we'll do that first. Okay.
Okay.
Here's the jingle for news.
News and weather. News and weather. News and weather. News and weather. Live news.
Okay, here's some news.
Yeah, I've literally just I'm trying to. I feel bad because there's a lot of like terrible stuff going on in the world, but
I'll
I'm
have
just
a look through Reddit.
I'm
while
just
we're
looking
doing
for
this.
stuff with funny.
I'm just on this article at the moment, and the title is Hollywood studios blacklist Penelope Cruz over Gaza letter accusing Israel of genocide.
Fucking. Probably 'cause you
I haven't really read the article.
couldn't
but
read her writing. I feel bad though because like there's all this stuff with, like Israel Gaza. We're not gonna make a joke about that because it is really horrible. But I'm just looking
perfect joke material.
I'm just looking of like stuff that's got quite a funny title. Like for example, I just came across. That's not that funny. That's actually quite horrific. Well, no, here's a good one. Ostrich conman Martin Evans to be extradited to UK. A fugitive drug dealing conman from Swansea who went on the run in South Africa will be extradited to UK. Apparently, Martin Evans, 52, who swindled ostrich farm investors in South Wales of £900,000. He's appearing in court Monday. What do you mean he swindled them out of money?
I don't know.
Well, I'm more concerned. Who farms ostriches in Britain?
That's very common, Tom.
But in Britain,
Yeah.
but in Britain,
Yes, in Britain. Ostriches they do good stuff for the community. They give eggs. Wait, that can't be true. I don't think anyone eats ostrich eggs, like, genuinely.
apparently he set up an ostrich breeding business which promised profits of 70% a year, but he swindled nearly £1 million out of investors, and he actually brought about £3 million worth of ecstasy and cocaine to the UK. I don't think the ostriches were involved. Eat this, and they were just like smuggling.
Hide this for me, would you?
Smuggling drugs, but I don't think that's what's happened. The ostriches are innocent bystanders, if anything.
You know how in our last podcast we had that news story about the hyper-aggressive stag?
The woman being gored by a stag.
Yeah. Just sort of continue along that trend. There's a headline here. Warning after dolphin aggressively pushed man underwater off Irish coast. The photo of the dolphin, he looks so like maniacal.
What do you mean?
I was going to say he's black, but I don't mean that in a racist. He's just a black dolphin. I'm not saying that as a racist stereotype. He's literally a black dolphin. No, I don't mean. he's just black.
Wait, what?
There's a black dolphin.
But he's a dolphin. They're kind of only one color.
Well, this one's black. Or maybe it's just because it's wet.
Here's a good headline here. Elsewhere on the BBC, the battle for Middle Earth. How was Lord of the Rings influenced by World War One?
Not at all.
Let's have a read. Yeah, not at all. It was believed that World War One was one of the highest number of active serving writers, artists, and musicians. Obviously, they're going to go into several of the orcs in Lord of the Rings were all poets, but they did not know it.
I'm still looking at that dolphin news story, just like this, because the stag story was on BBC News as well, wasn't it? The stag woman, because they just word things really weirdly. Like this here is like the incident took place on the 26th of July, and the whatever sightings log said we are aware of a report of an adult swimmer nearby in a wetsuit and a mask from a yacht at anchor being aggressively pushed underwater by the dolphin. They got a bit of a shock as a result.
I thought you said he was pushed underwater, as in like he was underwater, and the dolphin pushed him, like whilst he was underwater.
No, he was.
I was like, that's helpful if anything, isn't it?
He's trying to save you.
That's why.
No, he was pushed underwater.
That's the other thought. If he's been pushed underwater, how did the dolphin get on the boat?
He was like Free Willy. It dived over the boat.
He was wearing like crew attire.
It didn't knock him off. But
suddenly, at the last minute, he whapped off his life preserver and.
But it's
the guy.
It's reported here they got a bit of a shock as a result. I'd get a bit of a shock if I was honest.
I can imagine.
Ooh,
I can imagine. I have a genuine problem with news stories where I'll read the headline and be like, I know what this story's going to be about, and I'll get a cheap laugh out of it. Then I'll read the story and be like, oh no, I really shouldn't laugh at that. Yeah, like I'm not. You know what? I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the world. I just saw.
Thank God we're not real journalists.
Exotic dancers protest topless at Ohio.
I just looked at that exact same headline.
It's like, I don't know. What is going on? What is going on in the world? You know, I don't keep up on it enough. Like
cops bust Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Elmo in Times Square. The new Avengers.
Yeah, Elmo, his superpowers. He can take a good tickling.
Tickle me.
What do you mean they bust them? Busting former men?
They were arrested.
For what, though? Blocking pedestrians. Well, Spider-Man
doing the exact opposite of what they're supposed to do.
The 4 rogue characters. Well, this is a shame because I really obviously.
These are really grim headlines.
New York had a lot.
Woman dies falling into manhole.
New York had a lot of faith in Spider-Man, and now he's been charged in there for. Listen to this section from the article. Carlos Oliveira, 40, of Richmond, said that despite the NYPD's efforts, a man dressed as the Statue of Liberty demanded $5 after posing with his kids, Nicholas and Giovanna. Oliveira called that amount too much and instead gave $2 to someone dressed as SpongeBob SquarePants. This is the most surreal day in Times Square. It's just like, no Statue of Liberty. I'm getting my photo with SpongeBob.
He's earned my money. My 2 cents.
He wears those pants like no one else.
Jesus.
Weird.
Boy 9, as in he's 9 years old, fights off 400 pounds alligator and miraculously emerges with minor injuries.
Nice. I think I'm done with news. That to me is slightly depressed.
It's the shittest news segment we've ever done.
I know.
We're just reading headlines.
Well, it's because this is a day where we're literally just bored. We're like, let's do a podcast.
We're so bored.
Hopefully it'll be funny because we're always laughing at each other. Like, yesterday me and Joe were having this discussion. I was playing Last of Us. And,
the popular PS3 game that's recently been
now
remastered.
PS4,
we'll talk about that more in the game segment.
Exactly, yeah. And this is really news. It's just funny. And I can't remember even how we got into the conversation, but we were discussing like the future and like music and how like
I don't remember this conversation.
Yeah, you will. I think I started talking about it because like I was watching Back to the Future, and it got me thinking about like people when they're talking about their first gig and stuff, especially from people who lived in like the 50s, 60s, and it was like rock and roll and the birth of rock and roll and all that. And they're like, oh yeah, I remember so and so came on stage with his red Fender Stratocaster. Remember we were discussing about this, and I was like, and for some reason,
oh yeah, I know
whenever we do anything funny or discuss something about old people, it always comes out the sort of New York Jew accent. And we were just kind of like, I remember Dean Martin coming on stage with you, like we met your father at that gig. And we were just saying like, when people are older, like our generation and they're older, the music they grew up with is going to be like drum and bass and Skrillex and stuff. It's like, I met your father at that Skrillex concert. He pressed play and we lost our shit.
You kids don't know when you're born. It was all done by hand.
Yeah.
He had to hit play himself.
You had it easy. People used to, now we live with the computers.
All your brain music.
All your wub.
All your wubs and no manual labor.
No manual wubbing. They just they now just wire the music straight into your blood. I don't know what the future of music's going to be like. It'll be like a drug and people will just inject it. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's good. We used to have
Ooh,
to,
that's good music.
We used to all get packed into one big sweaty room and we'd crunk. We'd crunk until the sun came up.
You don't even remember Gangnam Style, do you?
Skrillex would tell us to raise our hands and we'd lose our shit.
All I can hear when we do that voice is that woman from the other guys.
Yeah.
Because you guys did it so hard.
She wants a 4-hour sex marathon. Yeah. I don't know why we come up with that voice. That's just a voice.
I don't know. I think I actually got it from Stuart.
Probably, yeah. Stuart
if you're
Conrad.
listening, Stuart,
Yeah.
which I know you are.
You probably will, actually. You probably will listen because he
introduced me to Jewish women.
He's a good cunt. But yeah, no,
Well, shall we move on from news? Because
yeah, let's move on from news. I
might even edit to put this bit at the end. Just move the news segment to the back.
All right, I thought you were going to move something to the end. But,
okay, that was news.
Yeah.
So what's the next segment?
We're not really doing segments.
We haven't
today.
done this in a while.
We have to kind of get off the segment idea because
the segment idea is good because I mean,
if
if we just talk, it's just shite. It's just
yeah,
shite.
maintain structure.
Let me look to my soundboard again.
I guess that's
Give
why
me a
it's
minute.
kind of why.
What's that?
That was another soundboard of movie insults, but I accidentally pressed it twice.
So then why is it echoing?
Sounded like Malcolm Tucker in a tunnel.
Oh, it was Malcolm Tucker.
Allow me to pop a jaunty little bonnet on your purview and ram out of the shitter with a lubricated horse cock.
Joe's gone for like a soundboard of just regular sound.
They're all so long. They drag on.
I've specifically gone for movie insults because I do love a good movie insult. I bet you I can tell what this one is.
Nice wig, Janice. What's it made of?
Your mom's chest hair.
Classic.
Awkward.
This is like we could do an entire podcast of
it's still going.
an entire
okay,
podcast
okay,
of
stop.
sound bites and just like soundboard stuff.
Yeah.
But we won't.
What else have I got?
This is the whole podcast, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of it's a weird time of year, I guess, isn't it? There's a talking point for you.
What?
No, but it is because like I don't know. Not
In
just
terms
because
of news
no, I don't mean
or
it
in
happen.
general?
Yeah, just in general of like stuff to talk about, like because there is a lot going on in the world, and it's whether or not you want to draw the line and say, we're going to do a serious podcast here and tackle some of the serious world issues.
Well,
Or be
more topical and more local. It's I think it's just finished, the Edinburgh Fringe. Has it finished now?
No, it finishes at the end of August.
It finishes at the end of August.
Fringe by the Sea,
oh, yeah, because the Fringe by the Sea happened in our hometown of North Berwick, and just a couple of things.
Let me Google it.
In the sense that who was it? Phil Jupitus was down.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a very popular comedian. I like him. Well, I sometimes like him. He's one of those
Just
comedians.
as a quick side note, the Fringe is on to the 25th of August.
Okay. He's one of those comedians I like on panel shows, but I don't really... His stand-up's alright, but it's nothing special. Anyway, he came to the Fringe by the Sea, and he was in one of the gazebo tents, and he just died on his arse. It must be so cringy to like be doing a stand-up in one of those small tents.
Well, one of my pals was there, and he was like...
It's such a close proximity thing.
He was saying it got so bad that he just started doing poetry. It's like, that's when you know...
So you didn't like my jokes?
Yeah. I'd be like... I can't think of anything to pick. Like a footballer would be like, really not playing well today. He just starts playing golf.
Yeah. In fact...
It just doesn't fit. Doesn't work.
I can imagine sounds like this would have been prominent in the tent at the time.
We do have a high cricket population in North Berwick.
Everyone would be like, this is in shit. Oh, wait, I actually said it.
Yeah, they would be like, what did you... I don't know if this is going to make sense. It'd be like, what did you, it'd be like, he'd be all like, That's so fitted with the speech. Be like, what do you think of Phil Jupitus? He was all like...
It looks to me like the best part of you ran down to cracking your mama's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress.
I don't think...
Poo! He means poo, everyone.
Heard any of that.
Yeah, it's weird because each of these insults on the soundboard is like represented by a little picture of the person who says that in the film. There's one of the Tin Man here from Wizard of Oz. I'm really curious what he said. You fucking motherfucker! Give me your heart!
You clinking, clanking, clattering collection of collision and junk!
Oh, it must be that he says it to him.
Oh, Tin Man.
He says it
Iron
Tin
Man.
Man.
That's not Iron Man.
Oh, there's one of Cartman from South Park. That'd be a good one.
Oh, aye.
Oh, I.
Oh, aye.
This is probably
Okay, this is ridiculous as a podcast.
you donkey raping shit eater!
classic.
Right, let's move on. Let's talk
That's quite a good way to end the segment. Time to fuck off, you doggy raving shit eaters.
Let's talk about movies.
All right. Okay.
Cue jingle! Movies! Movies! Jesus Christ.
Pass out, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so what was the last film you saw at the cinema?
My blood's popping.
So what was the last film you saw at the cinema?
And I'm back in the room.
What was the last film you saw at the cinema? Let's start. Let's start there. So Tom,
No,
what was the last?
We're still.
No, I mean, let's start our conversation there. I don't
Okay.
mean let's start the segment. The segment has started.
I was gonna say because there's no way I did all that without.
What, for the love of God, was the last film you saw at the cinema?
Well, Joe, I recently went to see Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was there. I saw it with you.
I know. I was about to say that.
Oh.
The new Marvel outing starring Peter Quill as a Star-Lord.
No.
Yes,
Chris Pratt.
Peter Quill. Drax, who was a UFC fighter. Vin Diesel as a tree. Bradley Raccoon. Bradley Racooper. And Gamora, who is a green version of Zoe Saldana.
I heard recently, not off topic, but Zoe Saldana said she wanted to be in Doctor Who.
Well, she can't.
Why?
She's not allowed. And they also actually recently announced Guardians of the Galaxy 2, like at Comic-Con straight away, because it hadn't even been out in America yet, but they were already so confident in Guardians of the Galaxy that they've said it's like
Well,
2017 or something.
They're going to be in the Avengers, are they not? Avengers 2.
Yeah, well, probably.
Avengers harder.
Probably. Here's a good article on the subject of movies. Just found this in The Guardian. Daniel Radcliffe admits he's not very good in Harry Potter films. Tell us something we didn't know.
I like Daniel Radcliffe, actually. I think he's a good actor.
I'm a what?
A lot of people are like, oh, fucking Dan Rad.
I think the thing about a good podcast is it gives you an insight into sort of information, things you didn't know, but also into the lives of the people who are podcasting. So, for example, on the subject of Harry Potter, the other day, I came out of the shower with a towel on my head, and somebody said, Joe...
I knew you were going to find some way to fit this into the podcast.
The restricted section.
It's really a visual gag, and it actually wasn't that funny.
Well, if we could create a video to go along with this podcast, and then...
Let's not do that.
A 30-minute video of me standing in a towel. Yes.
So the last two films I saw at the cinema were Guardians of the Galaxy with Tom, which is very good. I recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's been out for... Would you... Jesus Christ. That wasn't even a soundboard.
That was me phone. I've got friends. I hope.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the Guardians of the Galaxy, a very good film. It was actually a lot more grown up than I thought it was going to be. I know it sounds weird, but...
I know what you mean, yeah. They managed to get the balance between comedy and, like, serious actual adventure film.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me a wee bit like Indiana Jones. And that kind of, like...
I've never been a fan of the Indiana Jones films.
I know, not about a fan, but in that kind of... That sort of adventure... It was a proper old-style adventure film.
It was a rumpus.
Rumpus?
Wait, that's not the right word.
It was a romp.
Romp. That's the word I'm looking for.
It was a real royal romp.
It was a romp.
I only say Indiana Jones in the sense that it was like... It was genuinely enjoyable to watch as simply as like a film to get lost in. Like, you didn't have to... Sometimes I come out of films and I'm a bit like, if it's been crap, I'll be like, oh yeah, but so-and-so... There's like plot holes. I'll pick plot holes, but... I didn't want to do that with the Guardians of the Galaxy because I simply...
It's just fun. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean,
it's kind of one of those films that you just go and watch.
Yeah, it was.
You don't really have to worry about, because the story. Maybe there was plot holes, but it was a solid story. There wasn't. It was just like one of those.
Exactly. It kind of knew what it was. And
maybe slightly controversial, but it was a little bit like the first Transformers. Like the first Transformers, they kind of knew what it was before it got all serious and
Transformers 4.
To be fair, I haven't seen Transformers 4 yet.
It was a load of... I haven't seen it either, but it just seems like they're taking it a bit too seriously now. But
the last film I saw before Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a surprising... Well, I saw 22 Jump Street, and that was alright. But before that, I saw Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, and I've been going on about it to Joe, because if you haven't seen it, it's really, really good. It's like a sci-fi film about... It was based on a novel called...
so you know it's good?
All You Need Is Kill. You know it's good when it's based on a book. Well, to be fair, I did watch one episode of that series, The Bible. But you kind of know how it's going to end. So.
I went to the cinema twice in a row, in 2 days even. I went to the cinema twice in 2 days, and the second film was Guardians of the Galaxy, but the first film was How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Oh, I saw that.
Surprisingly
Let's have a quick How to Train Your Dragon discussion.
Let's.
Because I was thinking, like, for example, if you could make a graph of performance of like Pixar to DreamWorks, I would say that DreamWorks have been getting consistently better, whereas Pixar have been less consistent.
Shoot, maybe recently, but I think the amount of success that Pixar had will still dwarf.
Yeah, of course. Like financially, Pixar is still the bigger studio.
Thing is, like How to Train Your Dragon, both films, they don't seem like DreamWorks films at all. They seem like completely separate.
Even for example, yesterday,
I really like the feel of them.
Even for example, yesterday we watched the first. Correct me if this is not a DreamWorks film, but who makes Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
I think it's Sony.
Yeah, but for example, there's a lot of films that you watch and you're kind of unsure as to... A lot of people assume it's DreamWorks or Pixar. Like, I was about to go into that saying it was DreamWorks. And I think, unlike Pixar, DreamWorks have trouble stamping their identity on a film than Pixar do, because Pixar's style is so recognizable.
Well, DreamWorks style is recognizable too, because there's that meme that was on the internet of that stupid DreamWorks face that all the characters do, that kind of like side smile, like...
No idea what you're talking about.
You'd know what I mean if you saw it.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 2 is surprisingly grown up.
Again, yes, it's similar to Guardians of the Galaxy in the sense that it's a good adventure film, but at the same time, it managed to get funny bits and really serious bits.
Yeah, it's one of those kids films that like completely transcends being a kids film. It just becomes a film.
Yeah, you kind of forget it's a kids film when you watch it.
Got me all choked up with some bits. Like I won't spoil it, but there's a plot.
There's a couple. There's a couple
plot
basic. Okay, well, it's in the trailer, right? This plot point is in the trailer, so I can mention it. But there's two big emotional plot points in the story that both revolve around the fact that he finds his mother again. One of which is him finding his mother again. It's really well done. And then obviously the second one I'm not going to mention. But everyone's now going to assume it's the death of his mother, which it actually isn't. But no, it's really, really good.
Did you do that my impression there?
Yeah.
You're as beautiful.
Do you know how that is?
It's Jared Butler.
Yeah. Good.
Leonidas.
He's just like that in every film.
Yeah. Good times.
Is it weird that I think of him as the Phantom of the Opera more than Leonidas?
No, I think of him as Leonidas. Leonidas.
Let your soul take you.
Joe's not a fan of Jared Butler's portrayal in... I was about to say The Phantom Menace.
and us will have revenge.
The Phantom of the Opera. Oh, there's an interesting story on the subject of the Phantom Menace. Did you see that? There was a story in the news this week on BBC about a little boy, and he went to Egypt. And this was the basic gist of it was he did well in his exams or something, or he got a reward for some reason. So his parents said as a reward he was allowed to get a henna tattoo. So he got a henna tattoo of Darth Maul on his shoulder.
What's a henna tattoo?
It's like a paint.
Okay.
It's like a semi-permanent tattoo essentially. You know, like the Indian people get them for weddings. They get henna tattoos in their hands. And so he got one of Darth Maul, but he had an allergic reaction to the paint, and now the reporters essentially saying, "Boy potentially left with permanent Darth Maul scar on his back," and it's not funny. Sorry, boy out there. But the fact was, like,
we know you're listening.
I know you're in Egypt of all places, but who rewards their child with a henna tattoo? It's like just a pack of crisps or something.
Back in my day, it was rub-on tattoos of like SpongeBob
transfers, and then you just sort of peel them off, and it's like you got some sort of leper.
I think it's the first time I've ever generally said "back in my day" in my life.
Yeah, back in my day. You're old enough now. As you approach 20, it gets easier and easier to say. Do you remember? Because you were a 90s kid. It was a totally different decade.
Do you remember they used to have those Star Wars magazines? And there was this one. I don't know if you remember. There was this one issue, and it was telling you how to dress up like Darth Maul, and it was like. You paint your face black and red, and you use peanut shells for like the horns he had, and it was generally saying you.
I thought you said I did.
No. It was something like that, and it was like you just glue peanuts to your head. Imagine going to your parents and like, "Mom," is like getting adult to help you. He's like, "Can you glue these nuts to my head?"
Mom,
I want to be a Sith Lord.
Mom, do I have a nut allergy? I've just glued nuts to my face.
Your face is all red. Now it's supposed to be like that.
Just think you've got like a rare skin condition.
Imagine that.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Darth Maul movies, nuts.
Movies. Any other movies you've seen?
I had a point to make about Darth Maul, but it's totally gone now.
I'm going to talk about.
I was just going to move on to it. So, sorry, what were you going to say?
No, it's fine.
I was just going to mention that recent video that was out online, specifically on Reddit. Me and Joe, Joe more so. No, actually, probably similar time. I think it was just before me. We both become big Redditors recently. We're quite into Reddit.
Oh yeah.
And recently saw this video on Reddit of Kevin Smith, who wrote Clerks, talking about his visit to the Star Wars 7 set. So I've been like, I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'd say I like Star Wars.
I'm a big Star Wars fan.
I'm a big and been wait.
Sorry.
I've just been waiting for. That's our music.
Dubstep.
I said, it's like when we're older, just like me slow dancing with my wife in the kitchen, and me just quietly going like, "Sing to me, Gerald."
Is that Peter Kay joke? Where it's like, put some smack your bitch up. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, Prodigy.
Yeah, stick some Prodigy on for your mum.
Yeah,
she loves that.
Smack your bitch up. But yeah, no, it's just
that's how I'm gonna sync it up. I was going.
So he had this video recently of him. It was like an interview at. Maybe it was at Comic-Con, I'm not entirely sure.
It was Comic-Con.
Yeah, and it's just him talking about he'd been invited to visit the Star Wars set by J.J. Abrams, who I think J.J. Abrams thought he was someone else. So
no, I don't think that bit's actually true. I think they're buddies.
But all right,
pals.
Well, I've clearly fallen for that. But no, he's talking about his visit to the set. It just sounds really cool. Like it sounds because me and Joe were recently watching Jurassic Park and talking about how we really hope a lot of the effects are practical effects rather than CGI effects because it just adds a whole new layer to the film.
Yeah.
And then I saw this photo a couple months ago of like giant puppets being delivered to the set, and I wasn't entirely sure if it was like a genuine photo. But then according to Kevin Smith, it sounds like what they're doing is mostly like practical effects and things like that, which would be really cool. And he's pretty confident that he's got a Star Wars 7 sussed. So I'm looking forward to it. I have to say, I am actually very much anticipating that.
The
film.
sort of stuff Kevin Smith had to say was very encouraging.
Yeah.
To any other nerds. Like
yeah, no,
are.
I am. It should be good.
Anyway, I was going to say that it's not really a new film, but I recently watched a couple of Marvel films. Well, one of them's a Marvel film. One is actually still owned by Sony. But I watched The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I'm trying to get Tom to watch because he used to be obsessed with Spider-Man.
I still like Spider-Man.
I want to see what he thinks about it because I
feel it was
watching
definitely a phase.
It's a lot more comic-y than I thought it was going to be. It seems not, I guess not in a bad way, but it just sticks out in among
the
the
comic books
other.
have always been fairly like humorous. Like he's
but
that's
that's not
like, a bit chatty.
I know, but
chatty, I guess
as a film, like it sticks out amongst all the other. Because modern superhero films are going in a very obvious direction. They're going for like realism and grit,
black and grey,
and it's not a bad film, but it just sticks out. Like I think you should watch it and see what you think. But
okay, well that can be a topic for the next podcast.
Again, there's like Andrew Garfield is so good in it. Like
yeah.
I didn't really like him in the first one, but he's impressed me more as Peter Parker. I was always just, I don't think he's nerdy enough to play Peter Parker, but he is very good in the film.
We definitely have to start doing more regular podcasts because,
Yeah.
for example, like in the first one, we said, "Oh, yeah, you need to watch this. We'll talk about it next time." And then 3 months or so between podcasts,
And now it's next time.
by which point we haven't really
See when he.
our lives have gone on separate ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's life. Well, to be honest, we were really just bored, so I thought this would be a good thing to do the podcast, and it's actually been quite fun. So we'll have to do a.
You think you're running off?
Are we rounding off?
No.
All right then.
We've done 2 segments.
Oh yeah. We were talking about half an hour, and it's literally hit the half-hour mark. So
We talked about. Well, let's talk about games for a bit.
I'm gonna go.
Okay. Okay. That's it for movies. Games. Games. So.
So games. This is the worst segment for me because I can talk about everything forever and literally just we could do games for an entire podcast. But you know, it's nice to have lots of things for people to get into. Whatnot.
Me and Tom are both going through a phase right now. We play the same game religiously, and right now it's The Last of Us Remastered that just came out on PS4. God, it's hard. We've been playing it on grounded level, which is like they've added this difficulty level, which is the highest difficulty level.
Yeah, it used to be Survivor, and now they've added Grounded as well.
And it's so difficult. You get killed in about
Yes.
1 hit. You
It's
have no ammo
unfair.
at all.
I mean, I say it's unfair, but I'm like playing it myself. I'm getting through it, but it's just challenging.
The only reason-
ammo's scarce anyway, even in like the regular mode. But
The only reason I'm getting through it is because I played the normal game so much on
Yeah.
PS3. I know it like at the back of my hand.
it's just
So I'm
ramped
like,
up to 11 in this. Like, there's like a couple really hard sort of set pieces, like when we were down the sewers, and I always used to hate it, maybe mega tense. And then I went into it this morning even, with like no ammo, and there's like 5 clickers. If you play the game, clickers are like there's like different stages of infection. So it's like this cordyceps fungus virus. I mean, if you're into games, you've probably played it by now. It's like an absolute masterpiece.
not like
if you
the ones
haven't.
from Mario.
Yeah. Oh God!
But like at least 60% of the time, I just run from things. I
Yeah.
don't fight them. I just
Yeah.
run.
That's
It's
the
so
thing
much
with, like,
easier.
Either something's different than the remastered or the grounded difficulty, because like places where I think, oh yeah, there will be a zombie there totally is, and it's just I think the AI is slightly different on grounded because it's just solid.
Yeah.
Like I was like live streaming my game because you can do that on PS4 like a couple days ago, and this guy was commenting on. He's like a follower I've got on Twitch. I've got like 3 followers. I'm not exactly bragging, but he like commented like you should do so and so like, and I was like, oh thanks for the help, man. What he was doing was not helping. And the other day he was streaming on Last of Us, and he was doing what I was doing. It's like this isn't. But yeah, so it's just frustrating. Like you go into it with like 2 bullets against like 10 zombies, and you're basically fucked. I mean, the cool thing about the remastered edition is sounds really stupid. Like I've spent about 50% of my time taking bloody photos. There's like a photo mode in it, and me and Joe must have about near enough 100 photos just from Last of Us. But I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, really, because like some people are like, "Why are you wasting all your time taking photos?" But for example, like Infamous added a photo mode, and it is quite cool. The PS4's got like 500 gigabytes of memory, so it's cool being able to like save little snapshots. And I guess they've actually kept their promise. I guess like Microsoft had the whole thing; they were going to have streaming, but they only just added support for Twitch. I'm pretty sure. But like the PS4, they were always like, "Oh, it's going to be really social, sharing your experience online." So it's cool that they can get a photo mode and you can share stuff like that. And it's been all over Reddit. People adding these really cool, like actually quite like artistic photos of like Last of Us, because I mean, it only
really
helps to solidify the idea of like games as art type thing.
It really does depend on the game, because Last of Us is such a good-looking game. Like you kind of want to.
Yeah, like you wouldn't post
take
photos like
photos.
FIFA.
Yeah.
I mean, FIFA's a good looking game, but
I find it quite funny because me and Tom were playing it. We get so angry with it just because there's some parts of the game when you can't not die at least once.
Yeah.
So we die over and over again, and our dad will watch us playing the game like, why you're getting so angry? Why are you playing this game that's stressing you out? It's like, because it's so good. It's so fun. I hate to love it. It is such a good game.
Me and
It's
Joe are both like
my favorite game ever.
Yeah, me and Joe were both just like total dicks to each other. Like when Joe's playing, I'll be like, Joe, why are you getting so angry? Why are you getting so angry playing it? And then when I'm playing, I'm like, for fuck's sake. And then Joe's like,
Tom, just relax.
yeah, and then Joe's like,
I did this ages ago.
why are you getting so angry? We totally forget what happened
Because
the day before.
I'm about 10 minutes in front, like further along the game than Tom is, because I just played it like a day extra than Tom did. So I'm always like, oh Tom, I did this in like 30 seconds.
It has to take him like 4 hours.
Because did you hear me when you were in bed last night?
Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like,
Yeah. Well, no, there was like one night where I came through and Joe had been playing it for like a couple hours, and he was literally just on the sofa, but he'd blacked out.
What?
No, I'm kidding. I'm
That's
kidding.
not true.
They're just like lying there with like vomit on his shirt, just like
Just blood on his face.
I was like, Joe, wake up! And you were like, oh, I'm something. But yeah, so it's a great game.
That's pretty much the game I've ever played.
If you have a PS4 and you're kind of like waiting for the next big release and haven't played Last of Us, then get Remastered. If you have played Last of Us, get it as well, because they've updated like the textures and everything, and it actually looks better than a lot of PS4 games currently out.
It does actually, and like before it came out, Tom was all, "I'm gonna get this game," and I was like, "Why would you get we still have it on PS3? Well, what's the point? You're gonna pay like 50-40 quid to get this game, and it's so worth it. It really is."
I don't give a company fuck about your moral conundrum, you meat-headed shitsack.
Actually fits so well.
What did I say?
I don't give a fuck about your something conundrum, you meat-headed shit sack. I knew I was gonna buy it anyway. The same thing is though, that's the only frustrating thing about getting these next gen consoles is like I got one, I was like, yes, I got one. I've got like 6 games now. I got Watch Dogs and all that, which I stopped playing after like a week. By the way, it's pish. It's just so shit. Like they could have done so much better with it. But anyway, so like I've got Last of Us Remastered, and in like a couple months GTA 5 Remastered comes out as well. I'm gonna just keep replaying games that I've played already, but that's life.
part of me on a moral basis, like it's kind of a money making thing, but
oh no, it totally is. But at the same time, they want as many people playing their games as they can, and games like GTA 5 and Last of Us will sell PS4s. They will undoubtedly. They'll sell PS4s. So Sony and Microsoft are more than happy to have games like that on their consoles. And I guess if they're gonna publish them for them, and Sony can make money off it. I mean, Sony have released like Last of Us Remastered bundles with PS4 for games like Destiny and stuff are doing that as well. Like PS4 releases and things like that. And the fact that they're releasing Last of Us with a console is a big deal. And the fact that they're sold out in most shops. So there's clearly demand for it. I guess it's like, if you can make more money than you spend doing it, you're obviously going to do it. And I think they've done a good job with it. It's not like it's... Yeah. Well done, Naughty Dog.
thanks.
That's what I want.
Thanks, guys.
I want Neil Druckmann to listen to our podcast. That'd be awesome.
Our live studio audience is really loyal to us.
Yeah. But they stop.
No, it's so abrupt.
They stop dead on cue. Yeah. Thanks, guys. They're getting paid a ton. But yeah, so they've done a good job with Last of Us Remastered. A lot of it doesn't feel like tacked on. I mean, because they've included like Left Behind and things like that as well.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, Left Behind.
Have we since we did
That's
the
what
last,
I mean though. We get into gaming. I just talk about it for ages.
since we did the last podcast? Did I have Undead Nightmare? I think we did. I just bought it wasn't just, I bought it a while ago, but I don't think we've done a podcast since I got it. It was the DLC, I guess.
Yeah, DLC.
I didn't download it, but
So a single player mode that came out for Red
it was
Dead
content
Redemption,
regardless. And I bought it as a separate disc, and it was the Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, which is like the sort of expansion, I guess, of Red Dead Redemption. But it's basically the same game, but there's zombies everywhere. And it kept glitching. There was a really weird glitch. When I started playing it, nobody had heads. It was so bizarre. Like I was running around.
Which obviously, zombie lore is a problem.
It is a problem. I mean, they should be dead.
Yeah.
But it was also weird because you'd go to a town where it was being attacked by zombies, but the zombies would just be walking around like normal people, but they'd have no heads. And also,
like, morning.
yeah, there's one. I've saved all the towns that you're supposed to save, but there's one up at the top corner of the map that when I go there, the town isn't there. It's just like an empty map, like an empty space on the map. So I'm just like, okay, so I actually can't complete the game without like starting again.
So if anyone's listening to this and knows about these glitches in Undead Nightmare, help us, because we would like to finish it. But for example, I got a glitch the other day, which I managed to Google a bit about. So there was like character model swapping.
I know that 2 of our 3 listeners are game developers at
Rockstar.
Rockstar.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just name dropping there. Peter,
Gary
and Smith.
Gary and Smith.
If there are people called that at Rockstar, we're gonna get like a notice from them. Like, please don't share.
We do not listen to your podcast. We don't want to be associated with the Vevers Brocast.
employee names. But yeah, no, I got like a weird character model swapping one, which was like the first cutscene.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Again, I don't really want to spoil it if you haven't played it. But essentially, as per any zombie movie, one of your family members gets infected, and you have to put them down. For example, it's like the old uncle. It's your old uncle, and when you go outside to put him down, in my game he was a cougar. so like
he doesn't mean like
no, he wasn't like a older woman looking for some fun.
What do you call a male cougar?
A mooger.
No, I mean like a
brown bear,
like an older man who's looking for a pedophile.
How young? No, but yeah, so he was like a cougar, and the character models were swapping, so you can't shoot him, and you have to hog tie him. Like you have to tie him up, but you can't because he's a cougar.
Yeah, it just seems
I mean,
like a very glitchy game.
To be fair to old uncle, it's a good defense mechanism. Rather than playing dead, play cougar. Play cougar. Just be a cougar. Be the cougar.
Yeah. Very
But,
glitchy.
it does
I've
make
actually
it-
noticed some glitches in the Last of Us Remastered as well.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of zombies, The Walking Dead game.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Very
And
good
we can do this, and then we can move on to television and talk about The Walking Dead season 5.
Let's do that now.
And then, well, no, let's talk a bit about The Walking Dead game.
I don't really have much to say. I just wanted to say I was playing it.
Oh yeah. We originally played episode 3 of season 2.
Yeah.
It's all the what's it called? Into the fuck.
What?
I can't remember what the new episode's called.
Episode 4. It was Amid the Ruins.
Amid the Ruins. That's the one. Yeah.
It's the penultimate one.
Pretty tough moral choices, isn't that?
So tough.
By the way, I'm just gonna say it's already 41 minutes. We probably will make this up to about an hour.
Yeah, but it's one of those games that it's a bit like the TV show. Like you make decisions, and you sort of feel the way about the characters, and then when you stop playing, you're like, oh my god, did I just do that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, some of the decisions.
I know what you mean.
But
That's the
also,
thing, like I played season 1, and there's obviously the really, if you're into games again, you'll know the ending to season 1, and it's just like the most gut wrenching piece of game I think I've ever played. And I came in, like I was sitting all night playing it, and my flatmate came in, and I was literally like quietly sobbing, and he was like, "You all right?" I was like, "This is game, man." And the thing is, like, people compare games to art and things like that, and obviously when I think of art, I think of like paintings, portraiture, and all that, like the impact it's had culturally. But for example, games actually probably surpass TV and film in a way because of the direct involvement. Like I would never go into a gallery and cry at a painting.
Damo, remember this.
But yeah, like I don't know, games just have a way of like making you cry like a little girl, like films wouldn't. I mean, I've cried at a couple of films: Green Mile, The Notebook.
Ooh, while we're still on games,
I'm glad we quickly got off the fact that I cried at The Notebook. So.
Tom downloaded the Shadow of the Colossus, which was remastered for the PS3.
See, this is what I mean. We're on games for a while.
I know it was.
We're on games for a while. We're on games for a while.
I only wanted to bring it up because after about however many years of wondering, and I played the game 4 times to build up my grip, I finally reached the secret garden at the top. Where's my applause?
Fucking studio audience.
Hang on. Studio. Oh, they've fallen asleep. Hang on. Studio audience. Thank you. Finally.
Good. None of you are getting paid. But
Did you hear that? That was so good. You went none of them. Wait. You're like none of them are being paid. Then I was like.
get out.
Stop. Anyway, yeah. So I reached the secret garden, and also the thing is, you reach the secret garden, and you. I spent about I played the game 3.5 times.
Fucking hoity-toity.
Hey, buddy,
fucking...
hey. Enough with curse words, all right?
Kiss my sweaty balls, you fat fuck.
So I played the game 3.5 times, and I built up a huge pink ball, just throbbing pink ball of stamina.
It's quite impressive the celebrity guests we're getting on this podcast.
I know.
Yeah.
Peter Capaldi, who's just on the world tour. He's in South Korea at the moment.
Yeah, no, he stopped by here earlier.
He
had this
I'm
to
not
say.
talking about Peter Capaldi. So anyway, I built up all the grip, and I went to the. You get to the secret garden, and there's a fruit tree. I can see you ready.
No, Peter Capaldi's just here. He's making jokes.
There's a
He's fucking
classic Peter.
Peter, what?
You're a real boring fuck. Sorry. So I know that you disapprove of swearing. So I'll say you are a boring
Peter, come on, man.
star cunt.
Fair enough.
Peter,
he's gone. Yeah.
Peter, you can't use those words in our podcast. We talked about this
No,
before.
We paid him too much. He can say what he wants.
He can use those kind of words.
We
in
had
Doctor
a
Who.
budget, and we've gone over it. We got Malcolm Tucker.
Anyway,
And,
so I went up to the secret garden, and there's a fruit tree there, and you eat the fruit, and you lose stamina. All the stamina you worked up to build, it just disappears, and you can't get it back. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Also, in that game, I went down to the top of you can make it down to the bridge where you ride across in the first scene of the game, and I walked for about 20 minutes across it, like literally real time 20 minutes. It takes that long to get across it, and there's fuck all over there. It's just like an empty door. You're like, there's nothing here. So that was
It's been a stressful experience.
It was. It really was.
Yeah, anyway, let's move on to TV, and we can wrap up after the TV.
TV.
TV's broken.
Okay, so TV. Let me start off
to television
by because I was going to bring the
experience the world
You shut up.
of digital
I will come over there.
television.
Just as we were talking, Tom, for the love of, I'm going to find a sound for this.
That is appropriate.
So, just as we were talking about the Walking Dead game earlier, I was going to bring up this point, but I didn't because it's a TV show. The
Walking Dead season 4.
The Walking Dead season 4. Again, it's one of those things that you watch and you're like, yeah, like supporting really like, yeah, the blinds are broken. You support really like horrible things. Just an example, that bit in the last episode of season 4, I think it's the last episode. If you haven't seen it, it's too late. Spoilers.
When Rick bites the guy's throat out.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, but then you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
You're like, this makes me feel bad.
Yeah, I guess that is how you'd be in real life though, as well. You'd be like, yes, thanks for saving me, but okay, you do have blood on your teeth.
What do you mean? Who would be like that in real life?
Just if you
Rick.
were
sorry.
If you were with Rick and you were aware he was going slightly unhinged, and all of a sudden he bites someone's fucking throat out.
Well, I mean,
you'd
to
be
be fair, he didn't have to do it.
But I'm not gonna kiss you.
Thanks, but have you seen the trailer for season 5 yet?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
It does look good.
Yeah, they keep saying that the Terminus thing. I'm pretty sure they're cannibals.
Yeah, they probably are.
The Terminus thing is not going to last that long, and then they'll quickly get into season 5. I hope I really want to quickly introduce like Ezekiel and Jesus and Shiva and Hilltop and all that, because that is a really awesome. I basically want them to start all out war with Negan. I have a feeling that season 4 is going to end with the introduction of Negan. Season 5, sorry.
So you don't actually know that's going to happen.
What?
You don't actually know that they're bringing that in.
I am sure they will at some point. He's like a fan favorite. They can't not have Negan in it. But it's just when.
I've actually just been reading the comics. He's a cold bastard.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of when and who, because there's not been any.
If they could do it right, like how it is in the comics.
It's just the thing. Like, it's gradually been getting darker. Like, for example, that episode of The Grove from season 4 where Carol. Spoilers. Where Carol, spoilers.
She spoilers the girls.
She spoilers her right all over the garden. She spoils her brains out, and that can mean two things, which is good. But it's a really dark episode, and they're getting away with it. Not like they obviously submit to the networks. The networks know what they're doing. But like, it's obviously going to get much darker if they take the route of the comics, because Negan is like a tough son bitch. I mean, he's got like some of his dialogue.
If he kills the same,
you just don't hear on TV.
If some of the same deaths happen in the comics, if they happen in the TV show, it's going to be so grim. Some of the characters that die in the comics, if they die the same way they do in the comics as they do in the TV show, no, I mean, if they die the same in the TV show,
they haven't already. Like,
it'll be grim.
Dale's missing and things like that. You know what I mean? He's swapped around.
Yeah,
even Laurie and stuff. So
you know what's funny? I was reading about this, and I sort of have the same opinion. Like, in the comics, Andrea, is that you say her name? Andrea. She's a lot. Her character is so much better in the comics than it is in the TV show.
Oh yeah, by miles.
Well, she's dead now in the TV show, but she was so annoying in the TV show.
She needed to be killed off in the TV series,
but in the comics, she's really good. Like she gets shit done.
Yeah, well,
she's one of the last surviving
in season 5. In All Out War in the comics, she starts partnering up with Rick. She becomes like a sort of.
Well, they have a relationship.
They bump uglies.
But
no, she becomes like they actually become like an item in the comics, and obviously that can't happen now on TV because that'd be sick.
Yeah,
she's dead. But.
It's a different world.
Never stopped them before. But no, it's we interesting to see where it goes, because they have said that they're going to do like the Terminus thing is just a sort of side story thing. Obviously, it's going to be central to the plot. But
the impression I got from the
they're going to go back into the comics. They said the
impression I got of it from the trailer was that they sort of team up with the guys from Terminus. Just like some of the stuff they were like, we're all together now.
Unless maybe what they're not saying is the Terminus guys and Rick's guys get attacked by Negan's guys.
They're messing with the wrong people.
Remember the comics? Negan's guys attack them, and then that's how they discover Negan. He's like, he holds them up. That'd be cool if that happened, and that was a big twist in like the first couple episodes, that they actually introduced Negan straight away, and they've kept the casting totally under wraps.
There was a small Twitter campaign to get Dave Fennoy, who voices Lee in the Walking Dead game. I don't know if you know what he looks like, listeners, but he's a large black man with like white grey dreadlocks, and he looks exactly like
Ezekiel.
Yeah, in the comics, and it'd be so cool to.
Yeah.
It would also be like a good crossover with the game.
The people who read the comics and the people who watch the TV show are quite different groups of people. I found like a lot of people watch The Walking Dead who have never read the comics, and they're not big like comic book nerds.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So, for example, it's really funny when you chat to people who've watched the series but not read the comics, and people who watch the series and read the comics, because it's people like. I wonder where the TV series is going to go. Like, do you reckon they'll get to someone like the prison? The comic book guys just go, "When the fuck's the tiger coming along?" And people are like, "What? There's a tiger? Yeah, the tiger kills zombies." And you're like, "What?" It sounds like a totally different show at points.
It was funny watching one of the episodes of season 4 when what was the guy's name? Who is they tell you he knows what caused the virus? What's that guy's name?
It's the scientist. It's Eugene.
Yeah. When he came in, I was like, me and Dad were watching it, and obviously Dad doesn't read the comics, so I was like, I know what's gonna happen with him.
Yeah. But no, it's just funny because like people who they have a certain expectation of what the show is going to be like, and then the comics are totally different. And at points they do intertwine. Like I was thinking when I first saw the Governor, he's a much more tame version than he was in the comics. But by the end, he was pretty psychotic in the TV series. That's the funny thing. Like people like
You're making mud pies.
people who don't read the comics are like, what's going to happen next? And he's like, well, sooner or later there's going to be a massive black king with dreadlocks who thinks he's a king and he has a tiger called Shiva that kills zombies. You're like, what? That's never going to work in the TV series, but they'll have to. They'll have to make it work. And Negan with such lines as, what's that? Oh, it's my dick in your throat. That'll be a classic. That'll be on t-shirts.
That'll get censored.
Yeah, I do.
That's
a spoon in your pocket.
I just saw on YouTube. I don't know if it came out recently, but the uncensored end of season 4, because it was the line in the comics is they're fucking with the wrong people, but for some reason AMC decided to go with they're screwing with the wrong people. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's the same line, but same basic line. I get it, but basically, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that The Walking Dead are allowed one F-bomb every season. And why wouldn't you save it? Why wouldn't you save it for the last line?
When have they used them? I can't think when they've used them before. I don't know. Probably
in like, oh fuck, zombies. But like, why? I don't understand why that has to be censored, because it's a show where you see zombies and humans get their heads caved in, blood goes everywhere, and people. What's the difference between shit and fuck? Like, why is shit an alright swear word like over and over again, and fuck's not? Like, I don't understand. But
I guess if you're not offended by blood and guts and all that, you're probably not going to be offended by one F word.
Like, it's not like
per
kids
series.
It's not like kids are going to be up at fucking 9 or 10 whenever someone's going to be watching it. And if they are,
you never know.
That's the parents' choice. And if the parents are going to let them watch it, then surely I can't see any logical person who's going to have a problem with the blood and guts and let their kids see it and have a problem with someone going, they're fucking with the wrong people.
Yeah.
Because they are fucking with the wrong people.
That's it. They're just not.
They're fucking.
They're fucking all over the place. That's 53 minutes. So why don't we discuss the new season of Doctor Who? And then,
sure.
And then
actually, I have something that we can end on.
Round off the podcast. Okay, well, if you got something we can end on, then that's fine.
Let's do it now. Should we end on a game?
A game.
A game.
Okay.
I literally thought it was about 5 minutes ago, so I don't know if it's gonna work.
This is live, folks.
This is live.
Is here. I've just realised that my movie insults app, you get 5 movie insults.
Crashed.
You get 5 movie insults per 15 minutes.
What?
You have to buy more.
It's like timed.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. Okay, so this game, me and Tom are very. Basically, all how our conversations work is we just do impressions and make voices, and
that's not true.
That is kind of true.
We do voices, but it's because we're coming up with our own shit.
So like I devised a game.
The Jewish thing about losing our shit to dubstep.
I devised a game. It's not really a game as such. It's no one can really win, but I'm gonna name maybe 5 sort of obscure celebrities.
Okay.
And I just want you to do an impression of them, and then you can ask me some 5 obscure celebrities.
Okay.
So
5's quite a lot.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Okay. What happens if I don't know who the person is?
You will. I'll make sure you do. I'm just gonna pick them off the top of my head. Okay.
The other thing is, me and Joe do impressions, but they're not necessarily good impressions.
I know, that's the game though. So that can be the game. Like 4 or 5 impressions, and you get a point if I'll be the judge.
This is why it'd be good if we had loads of listeners, because they could vote on who was the best.
Listen to us.
Please listen to our podcast so that these games can work. This is every podcast. I've had to come up with a different game, like Radio 1. And right. Okay, go on then. Okay,
I need to think of someone. Let's see. Not like horrendously obscure, like the key grip of Bargain Hunt. 1.
Thanks.
Okay, let's see. Okay. David from The Last of Us.
I can't think of any of his lines.
I am thinking of the right person, right? David's the creepy guy.
The creepy guy, yeah. But I can't think of any of his lines.
Let me think.
Should I Google it?
Oh no, do the one that's like there was a crazy old man traveling with a little girl.
There was a crazy old man traveling with a little girl.
Why we get the Joker?
I don't know. You said creepy, I said Joker.
There was a crazy old man.
He's kind of like that. He's quite nasally.
Yeah.
There was a creepy old man.
You know, you sound like Tim Curry in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Is it your go again? Or?
Yeah, we'll do one each.
Okay, so that was not a point for that one. Okay.
No.
Right. Oh, so it's my go now, is it? Right. Okay. Okay. Do an impression of Do an impression of Do an impression of Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury in the Avengers.
I've had it with these motherfucking aliens in this motherfucking wormhole.
I don't believe that's a line
have you
directly from the film.
Have you heard the censored TV version of that? It was like, I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
No, I have now.
Did I get a point?
No.
Okay.
No.
No one's
It's going to be a pointless round.
Okay.
Right.
Alexander Armstrong from Pointless.
And as per usual, over to my pointless friend, Richard. This guy lines so quickly, I watched so much Pointless. And then Richard goes, hello. He goes,
I'll give you a point for that.
okay, thanks. I just need to...
So
and now over to my pointless friend, Richard.
1-0 to you.
Right, okay. Do an impression of Sandy from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, Christ. That's a hard one. Right on left field.
You're saying it like you can do it, but it's just somewhere better.
Hang on, let me get into character.
We just...
I can't think of any other lines.
Just say, hi, I'm Sandy from SpongeBob SquarePants. Your face has a genuine look of fear. You're like, oh god,
I can't do this.
This is an incredibly...
She's southern, isn't she?
Yeah, an incredibly high pitched. That was Mr. Hanky. Wow! Howdy ho, kids. Right, you don't.
Hi, I'm shit. I'm doing Jewish again.
The new sitcom, Doing Jewish. Right, okay.
It's like being human.
Your go.
Okay, I didn't get a point for that.
Right, we'll do 2 more each, and then we'll round up the podcast.
Okay.
Doing Jewish. Like one of our favorite
being human.
One of my favorite podcasts, and I think Joe's as well.
Talk about this and I'll think about it.
Cox and Crender. They've got like their slogan on t-shirts, which is just "Goobity Gap Gap Gee." So that can be ours. We can have "Doing Jewish."
Yeah, that won't get any complaints at all.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Let's see. Will you do?
I would.
Can you will?
Can you will?
Would you? Can would?
Mm-hmm.
You can do an impression of
Facts.
Never have I ever. Okay, let's see.
I feel I'm going to be clipping quite a lot on this podcast.
I'm just thinking of an obscure one. You know the lawyer in Jurassic Park.
No.
You know the guy who gets killed by the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Okay, not him.
I can literally only think of the line when he gets taken out the toilet and he goes, "Ah!
Oh my gosh, a T-Rex!"
I was taking a shit.
Okay. Mad Eye Moody.
I'm doing it now. You just can't see my eye moving. I'm trying to think of his lines. Should I Google some of his lines? Yeah. This is like taking so long to do, and it has to be the big finish of the podcast.
But do you have one that I can do while you're Googling?
Yeah, do an impression of GLaDOS from Portal.
Okay. How are you doing? 'Cause I'm a potato.
Oh, Christ.
That's good though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was alright.
Can I get a point?
Yeah, you can get a point.
Yes!
It was just
Too much?
It was literally just a woman, though. You were like, hello.
GLaDOS. She's very like...
Oh, I'm a potato.
They filter... they filter her
I'm
voice.
a potato.
They filter her voice. You're not going to be able to do it. It's like...
Right, here we go. The 25 greatest Harry Potter characters in Empire. Memorable line. Stay in formation, everyone. Don't break ranks if one of us is killed.
That was terrible.
No, that wasn't that wasn't it. that wasn't it. Okay.
Wait. Okay, go.
Stay in formation, everyone. Don't break ranks if one of us is killed.
Hey, shut up! You don't know what it's like. God.
You'll see! You'll all see!
This is going to be really bad for people listening to this because I can see so many parts where it's clipped.
I know.
Anywho.
I'll turn it down.
Well, that was
Wait. We still got 2 more to go. 1 each.
Oh, yeah.
Um.
Sorry, I keep trying to round this off.
Okay.
Like a conversation sounder.
Okay.
I'm going down by 20 minutes.
You do Matt from Blue Peter.
What, the guy that committed suicide?
No, that was the guy from Smart.
Not so smart now.
Ooh, burn.
Matt from... Well, I think he hung himself. Matt from... so it's not funny. Matt from Blue Peter. Let me get a split second of getting into character. Well, he's on the One Show now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
Today on the show, we've made a paper mache.
That was actually good.
I can't.
You got like the emphasis
Today on the show, we've made a paper mache glove.
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 That was actually surprisingly good.
Thanks.
Point from me. Okay.
Today, we've made a nappy for
stop.
Mabel.
Stop. Is Mabel the cat?
No, the dog.
Oh, right.
Mabel. Because she keeps pooing all
What's
over
the
the
last
couch.
one? What's the big finish you're gonna make me do?
Okay, just give me a second.
I'll distract the crowd with some.
Do
with
an
some
impression. Just give me like a couple lines, maybe a first verse of the "So Long and Thanks for the Fish" song from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Do you mean the dolphin version or the
dolphin version?
Oh, I can do the other.
You have to you have to correctly get it between men and female parts.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna Google the lyrics. Hang on.
All right, that's fine. So obviously the first verse is a male and the second part is female.
Yeah, but it's like it's not one singer. It's several singers. I can't harmonize with my throat.
They're on a curveball at you.
Oh, hang on. Okay. Look, I was gonna say if I did the end credits one with the guy from The Divine Comedy, I can do that one.
No.
So long. Hang on. Where? Oh, I was googling.
It sounds like you're dodging a bullet here, Joe.
I was googling the book. Right, I've got it. Do I have to do the whole song?
No, just the first two verses.
So long and thanks for all the fish.
That's rubbish.
Hilary Summers.
It's rubbish, mate. Absolute pish.
Does it start with the male or the female?
Starts with the male.
So long and thanks for all. I wonder if there's a karaoke version.
I hope to God there is.
So long and thanks for all the fish. So sad that it should come to this. We tried to warn you all, but that's not the words.
It's play Celine Dion.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait,
he's ruined it. No.
Do you want to hear the best impression I can do? This is my impression of Whitney Houston.
Pretty accurate. He's actually singing this. I can see his tonsils moving. That's all that's moving there.
I really am singing this. Oh shit.
He's ruined it. Right, then. Well,
thanks for listening.
We said it was only going to be half an hour.
Thanks for listening.
Hopefully anyone that does listen actually enjoys listening to us yabber.
And if you don't, then fuck you.
Then it's if you don't,
fuck you.
If you don't, then it's probably not for you. So don't come back. Fucking. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. You shit.
Well, thanks for.
It's been fun. Thanks for
listening.
Thanks for stopping by.
We will, when we say we'll see you next time, we'll try and do a bit more regularly because our other brother is coming down to visit. So he's here now, but
we can get him involved in a podcast.
Yeah, we're hoping the next podcast we'll have
this week maybe
brother 3 in it.
I think he's only got like 2 days off, but
2 days.
Yeah, maybe
off.
he can do one. He'll get quite political though.
I fear that as well.
But he's funny. He likes to contribute. He's a writer. He's got some good shit.
He wrote a whole book.
Out of paper.
With a pen.
With a pun from ink.
Pun? That's not it. Okay.
With the poon. Anywho, it's been fun. We've been the Vevers Bros. I'm Tom.
This was... Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, standing ovation, you guys.
Standing ovation.
You guys are too kind.
You're too kind. You
encore.
are too kind.
Don't throw those at me. They're dirty. The lights went out.
Oh, God. This is... it stopped.
The people are
Well,
dead.
that's a small relief.
Goodbye.
Circus, Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro, polka dot, Afro.
I don't think we should say anything else.
We won the crowd back. Bye.
Specs. It's Specs. Specs is Specs. Ja.
Specs.